Okay, welcome to grammar class again. As much as we love grammar, yes. Today's a bit of a complicated subject area, is what I'd like to say, because this is very advanced, I think. I mean, the word prefer is not advanced. The word had or have is not advanced. Better is not advanced. Would is normal. Rather is a bit more complicated. But when we do these would rather and had better, that's when life becomes difficult. So I think I have everything ready for this. Let me just bring this up for myself first. All right. Well, while I'm bringing this up, and I did tell Elle, the internet has been not so great. So if you can't hear me or if there's problems, please tell me. And so our grammar, had better, prefer, would rather. First, I'd like to ask what you two know about this topic, or these topics, these words, I should say.
I've heard had better is somewhat better. Maybe it sounds like I force someone to do so. Is it true?
Well, I didn't hear all of that. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Could you repeat that?
Had better, somewhat forceful expression. Like you must do that.
It's not that strong.
Okay. How strong is it?
That's explained in the document here. It's about should.
So funny.
Okay, it's a suggestion. It's a recommendation.
Okay.
I think I put that in here. If I didn't, I meant to. So we'll see. We'll see. I did this document over a couple days, so yes. So very similar. Yes, I would agree with that. Prefer. We know prefer. I mean, it's a normal verb, so that one's not too complicated. But do you know anything about would rather?
Yes.
What?
It's like two things that you can do, but you can do this one thing, but you want to do another thing.
Okay.
You want to do another thing more than the another thing. You know what I mean?
I do. Comparatives.
Yeah. It's something like that. There are two things like coffee and tea. Coffee and tea. I can drink tea. I can drink coffee, but I would rather drink coffee over tea.
Okay, so I see that structure you have in there. Yes, that's very good. So I think we're on the right track to begin with. So what we'll do is there are some other things I've put in here because as we look at sentences, we have questions, we have doubts. So what I've tried to do is actually add those in here. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. What happened? Here it is. Okay. So prefer and would rather can be used interchangeably. When we are talking about general preferences, prefer is followed by the ing because it sounds better. Okay, because what we learn with the verb patterns, for example, I prefer to go shopping. I prefer to eat Mexican food. I prefer to eat, okay? We're talking about the infinitive here. Now, in these types of situations, we're going to use the verb plus ing, which I prefer eating at a Mexican restaurant. I prefer eating Mexican food. We can still use it as a verb pattern. It's still prefer is one of those verbs that you can use either the infinitive or the gerund or verb plus ing structure. There's no difference, okay? Now, in this case, I'm just saying we just normally use the verb plus ing. Don't have to, but I'll explain why. For example, we have, He prefers to listen to the TV rather than to listen to the radio. Okay, there's kind of a lot of twos. Two, 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 two. Now, this part in parentheses we don't need, okay? However, what we're saying is, because after rather than acts as kind of a conjunction in this, as it's bringing both phrases together, okay? So when we have a conjunction, for example, and, I like reading and writing. Reading and writing are both in the ing forms because the first one is. For example, I like to read and to write. So we're using the same conjugation on both sides. Okay, that's what I'm focusing on. And I think that's it for that because later I have something else. So this sentence actually sounds better. He prefers listening to the TV rather than listening to the radio. Why do you think the second sentence sounds better out of the two? Either one can answer. Any ideas? Why don't you read the first? Why don't you read both examples and then I'll have you do the same thing.
Okay. He prefers to listen to the TV rather than to listen to the radio. Second sentence. He prefers listening to the TV rather than listening to the radio. I think it's a kind of collocation. Prefer gerund and gerund. Pardon.
Right, and that's what I was saying is that with prefer, it's very similar to like, love, etc., in which you can use either the infinitive, as in the first sentence, or the gerund, as in the second. So you can choose, and there's no difference. So think about it. Wait, please. Elle, I'd like Elle to read, and then we can talk about why maybe the second sentence sounds better. Okay, so Elle?
Which one? Both?
I'd like you to read both examples, yes.
Okay. He prefers to listen to the TV rather than to listen to the radio. He prefers listening to the TV rather than listening to the radio.
So it seems like the second sentence in general was also easier to read. Is that correct? Or not? What do you two think?
To read?
Well, it's okay. I'm going to be quiet. Okay, Ken, did you have an idea? Maybe Elle can think while Ken's speaking.
He prefers to listen to the TV. He prefers listening to the TV. I think first one is easier for me to read. Maybe I'm not native, so native speaker, yeah. The feeling, maybe second one is better to say, pronounce. He prefers to listen to the TV. No, maybe same for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's fine. That's not a problem. Okay. Yes, Ken, you're in the general direction of he prefers listening to, because when we have he prefers to listen to, we have a lot of strong sounds. He prefers to listen to. In this, he prefers listening to, prefers to listen to. Okay, so we don't have this extra kind of hard sound here. We only have one harder sound here.
Can I say something?
Of course.
Okay, for me, I think the second one is more like the first one is like a beginning English.
Okay, like a basic level.
The basic level, yes. The second one is more advanced. More advanced student. Yeah. I think this is but for reading, I think the reading when I read is not, I didn't find it's different. But when I see something, I see that this is more advanced, the second one. I don't know. This is just my opinion.
No, that's fine. I'm just kind of trying to see what we think. As you can see, I've written. I'll just put these on the next page. I'm going to completely make everything else in the wrong place, but I like reading and writing. Okay, as you see, both ing. I like to read and I like to write. In this case, we don't need to say to again because write is using the base verb or the infinitive verb, whatever you want to say, just like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is repetitive or redundant. We don't need it, but you can say it. And like I said, prefer is the same. Just like love, we can just replace like with love. I love reading and writing. I love to read and to write.
I think reading the first sentence, reading and writing is noun. It's like a noun.
Oh, okay. Okay. Someone also told me that. I personally disagree. I can understand that.
Really?
Yeah, this is because of verb patterns. Ken, what do you think about that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about reading and writing as nouns in the first sentence or verbs?
I love reading and writing. I think gerund. I learned in Japanese school. Gerund also means 動名詞, which means I don't know how does
That doesn't
which
help
means,
me.
verb noun. Digital translation is the word is verb noun. Verb
Okay.
noun. Verb so it seems like a noun to me as well.
Yeah, because we change verb. If you want to change verb to be a noun, you have to add ing.
Well, of course, sometimes, not all the
Yeah,
time.
sometimes. Yeah, right.
Let's mention that. Yes, I agree with that. But what happens in the second sentence? Now we really have verbs. We have the infinitive of verbs. So now,
Yes.
what do you think?
There's an infinitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love to read. I love to. What is your questions? What is your question?
Well, my question is both sentences are perfectly correct.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that we're using nouns in this sentence, why can we also use the infinitive in the second sentence? Oh. Silence. Okay.
I think meaning different, right?
No, there's no
Same.
difference. It's the same meaning. That's what I'm doubting here is why can you say, and this is why I like to say that reading and writing are verbs. Yes, L.
It depends on if you want to use the infinitive verb, it should be the second one. But it's like I said before, like for the beginner, like when I first start studying English, learning, I always use the second one. Always use the second one. When I get better, I try to make my sentence look advanced. I try to use the first one.
Interesting. Ken, what do you think about this?
I think maybe I love reading and writing, and I love to read. I used to use it for like I'd like to read it. But
that's different. I'd like to read it is different.
Okay, I love to read is not that meaning.
Well, I like or love to read that book, for example. What you're saying here is not the same as here. I love to read and to write, or even just I love to read. Okay, I love to read in general. Reading is nice. Reading is fun for me. I enjoy it. Okay. In this case, you're saying, oh, well, I think it would be nice to read that book. So you're not talking about something in general. You're talking about a specific book, and we're also using that with the idea that it's a specific book.
Yes.
Now I get it. Like the second sentence, if you want to use that, you have to specific what kinds of reading.
So, yeah, exactly. And in this case, we're just saying that I enjoy reading and writing. So my idea here is that I'm focusing on the verb patterns, because in this case, after I'd like, I would like, we have to use the infinitive to read. We cannot say I'd like reading that book. That's incorrect. And that's because it's a verb pattern. So my idea between these two sentences is really because I love reading is easier to say than I love to read, because the T is such a strong sound. It kind of breaks up the fluidity of the sentence. So when I was talking about the examples here, he prefers listening to the TV rather than the radio, or listening to the radio is just easier to pronounce, as Ken said earlier. That's the only difference. Both of these sentences are exactly the same. They have the same meaning. The difference is this part, and this is the verb pattern of prefer. As I said, the verb prefer can be used the same as love and like here, where this next verb is in the ing form or the infinitive form and doesn't change the meaning. Okay? That's what I was trying to talk about. So I'm going to delete this in hopes that the rest of my presentation goes back to normal. And as I said here, in this one, there's a lot of twos. So my next question that comes in is too many twos. And I know twos isn't really a word, but it is in this case. And the program doesn't like it. So anyway, in English, we use the word to a lot, but all for different reasons. So my next example sentence is, he said to his mother that he's going to the park to play. Now, this actually has 3 twos, whereas this other one has 4. If we use the complete sentence, he prefers to listen to the TV rather than to listen to the radio. So many twos. Well, what's going on here? Can we identify why we're using these twos? Let's do it in this sentence, and then I'd like to do it in the other sentence as well. So this first two, why are we using to in this case?
He said, in this case, he said to his mom, this one we need to because he said, and then after that we need the object, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be to between that.
So this is a preposition, and we always use to after said. Unlike told, he told his mother. So we don't have to use to. We could say he told his mother. He gave information, so we could use tell and not said. This is reported speech if you didn't see it. He said to his mother. This is reported speech, okay? So we have to because of the word said. Now, the next two. He's going to the park. Why? What verb tense is this? What's going on?
Present progressive.
Yes. And so what does this to represent?
I think it's a part on be going to the plan.
Well, you've just then changed your mind on what verb tense it is. Because you're trying to say it's be going to, but you just said it's the present progressive or present continuous, which are 2 different verb tenses, even though they mean the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, can I go to the restroom?
Yes.
Sorry.
That's fine, Elle.
Okay,
don't worry.
sorry.
Okay, so this grammar is making Elle nervous. What I want to explain is that this too is also, this is talking about movement. It's a preposition because he's going from his house to the park to play football. So maybe if I changed, and this too is also now for a reason why he's going. It's to play. But you could also say he said to his mother that he's going to play football at the park. I wanted to have an extra to here. So if we look at this sentence, he prefers to listen, verb pattern to, collocation to with listen, because we always listen to something, okay, rather than to listen, because we need to have the same kind of structure after prefer, and then listen to again for the collocation. So we do use a lot of tos in English, which is okay, but if you want to say it's even more simple, then we would use the ing form. That's what I wanted to explain here. How do you feel about that, Ken?
Complicated.
I like that. Okay, well, I don't like that, but yes, I can understand. Well, why don't we continue? Do you have any questions?
No, particularly.
Okay, why don't we just continue on? So what's the difference between prefer and would rather? Do you remember?
Prefer means preference.
Yeah.
Expresses preference. Would rather, I don't know. Would rather also sounds like preference, but maybe would rather has different meaning.
Nothing. There's no difference.
Okay.
I did mention it. All right. They can be used interchangeably. So, as you said, preference. So preference is he prefers to listen to the TV. Okay. Rather than blah, 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 the other part. Just like what Al was saying at the beginning, it's kind of a comparison. We're using two objects. So I prefer this over the other thing. Okay. Now, it depends how you want to say the sentence. Would rather is a bit more formal, but there is no problem using it in an informal situation. It just sounds more polite. How do you feel about that, Ken?
It's a matter of politeness, meaning, but which one is polite? Sorry. Would rather is politer than prefer.
Prefer. Yeah, prefer is a normal common verb. A lot of people know prefer, from the basic level of English. Would rather now complicates things. Okay.
Okay.
And Elle, you said you're back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, good. Perfect. So let's look at these two sentences. Ken, can you read these sentences, please?
I prefer listening to music to watching TV. I'd rather listen to music than watch TV. Okay.
So I'm going to say the sentences are the same. They mean the same thing. But do you see anything different?
Yeah, structure is different. Gerund. Prefer gerund. Would rather infinitive.
Correct.
Yeah, infinitive.
Okay. So yes, I prefer listening. As I said, it's easier to pronounce, so I'm going to use listening today in class. So we also have watching. Okay. Same here as we have I'd rather listen, the infinitive, and watch. But we have two here. And so we have two and then a verb with ing, which is really pretty uncommon. There are some structures. What are they? To get used to something, I am getting used to waking up early, for example. Okay. I look forward to seeing you later. So we do use this. But do you know why we're using to in this case?
I don't know. In Japanese school, just teacher just teach the set phrase prefer to. We just memorize this pattern. Okay. See, actually, this might be the same thing. Okay. I think it is. It's really just because of prefer, but it has nothing to do with the verb tense or the verb pattern as we explained earlier. It's very confusing. And then in this case, I'd rather listen to music than watch TV. So these are specific structures for these words. So if we talk about
the structures. Now I'm going to go directly into had better plus the base verb. So Elle, could you read these two sentences, please?
Okay. I better go. I'm going to be late. He'd better get up or he's going to miss the bus.
Okay. So as Kim said earlier, it's something you must do. And I said maybe not must, but something you should do. So what do you I'd better go. What do you think that means if you were to say it differently as such as a synonym?
You should go.
I have to go.
All right, let's use all of the modal verbs possible. Yes. I should go. I must go is really strong. So I guess it depends on the situation. Or he'd better get up or he's going to miss the bus. He should, he needs to, he has to get up now or he's going to miss the bus. Okay, so this is the first structure we're focusing on. However, there's also a different way I wanted to mention to say this, which is coming. So had better, had better is always formed from the auxiliary verb have in the past tense. Has better or will have better don't exist in this case. Okay, don't exist. Do not use them. This is it must be had better. Questions?
No.
Okay, this might be something that you didn't think of and etc. So another common phrase used in English to express the same idea is I'd best or subject. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Ken, could you read these examples for us?
Okay. Another common phrase used in English to express the same idea is I'd best go home to help my mother. She'd best get going before the bus leaves.
So what do you think of these sentences? Have you seen this structure before?
Never. Like this.
Okay, I like that. Thank you. Elle?
Yes.
What do you think about this?
Have I seen this before? Or
yes.
I best go home. She best get go. It sounds familiar, but compared to had better, I think people would have better more than this one.
Okay. And that's fine. I would say it's 50-50. As a native speaker, I'd say it's 50-50. I think part of it is because maybe you've never heard it before or studied, so you're not able to recognize it when someone says it. Maybe that's a situation. If not, that's fine. But I wanted to add this. This is a very common phrase, at least in Wisconsin. She'd best get going. I'd best get going. Do you know what get going means?
Yeah.
Means where?
Get going is mean like you have to you best get going like ready to like if you're talking about you have to get going before the bus leaves, you have to prepare yourself right now and leave.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
That's basically it. To get going means, all right, hurry up, let's go, get ready. All right, get going, start in action, basically. It could be start getting dressed, start eating breakfast, eat faster. So it depends on the context, but get going means to start something, okay? You both will probably leave today very sad. I hope not. Okay. So what we're going to do now is focus on the structures of these, okay? So, Elle, did you read those other sentences? Oops. Did you read these?
No, that can. Next me. It should be me. Next one.
Perfect.
Okay. I prefer something to something else. She prefers drinking water to milk. they prefer leaving earlier to later.
Okay, so as we saw earlier, we can put the verb here again, but because it's the same verb, we're not going to. Because native speakers eliminate all words that are not necessary, which makes life confusing for the non-native speakers, okay? They prefer leaving earlier to later. They prefer leaving earlier to leaving later. Again, repeated verb, don't need something else here, okay? So, Elle, this is what you were talking about with, I'm sorry, prefer. Preferences, that was Ken. Any questions with the structure? This is just the structure. We have to use two.
How about over? Can I use over instead of to?
Yes, and I think that's also more advanced. I didn't add that here. I don't think I have an example of that. But
okay, yeah. Okay.
You're correct. Yes, you do have that option. They prefer leaving it earlier over later. Yes, this is just the basic structure. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Oh, what happened to the other example? Anyway, Ken, could you read these sentences for us?
Prefer to do something rather than do something. I prefer to go shopping rather than watch a movie.
So, what do we think of this?
Correct sentence.
It's a correct sentence?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad. That's my sentence. What do you think of the structure? Because the other one seemed a little bit simpler, didn't it? Because we didn't have rather than. We just had two here. Pretty good shopping rather than watch a movie.
Because rather, Ken, sorry.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You mean the two? It doesn't have to the second one because we have to already, and rather than we don't have to put another two. What is your question? Sorry.
I'm sorry. This is probably a little bit too deep in grammar today. No, you're correct. We have, I prefer to go shopping rather than to watch a movie. So we could add to here if we wanted, but we don't have to again because it's redundant, repeated. So you're fine there. But I'm referring to this more than anything because in the other structure, it was a lot easier, I think. I prefer this to that. So now we're making life a little bit more complicated by adding more words, basically. Okay? And in this case, we're also using prefers drinking water. We're focusing kind of more on the nouns here, not the verbs, because we have the same verb. And these, we have different verbs. So I prefer to go shopping rather than to watch a movie. And let's see if we try to mix this. They prefer going shopping to watching a movie. So we can, oh no, don't look at what I wrote. There. Okay, so the other one was they prefer watching a movie is what I said. Watching a movie to going shopping. It's opposite, but it doesn't matter. The structure is what I'm focusing on here. So they prefer, we've changed the verb pattern. We're not using to. And we're using this because they prefer to watch a movie to go shopping. Doesn't really follow this exactly. They prefer to watch a movie to go shopping. So I don't know. This is the comparative to, and this is the verb pattern to. So what we're doing is eliminating this because we're not going to say they prefer to watch a movie to go shopping. Did I just confuse you both a lot more or not?
No. Good.
I don't like this sentence anyway, so bye. Done. Okay, on to the next part. Let's see. She prefers to play football rather than watch it. Now, I've just added it because we don't need to repeat the word football. Look at all of this information today. Okay, she prefers to play football rather than watch it. And here again, we can say to if we want. It just depends on our verb pattern at the beginning of the sentence. Okay?
Yeah.
Is this too advanced today?
No, it's okay.
Okay. He prefers to play basketball rather than baseball. What does this asterisk mean?
To.
Ken, what do you think?
Yeah, to play.
Like I said before, we don't need to say the verb again if it's the same as the first part. Okay, so yes. Good. Any questions about this right now?
Not now.
Okay. Actually, this question was supposed to be on the other page. Anyway, let's make sentences. We'll move these down. I want you two to write sentences for me in the chat box. However you want, with whatever you want. All I've done is helped you with one of the three parts of speech that we're looking at today and giving you a verb to work with. So if both of you could write a sentence, I would love that.
Prefer go, using prefer go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've talked about a lot of structures today. My head hurts, actually. Okay, Al, could you read your sentence, please?
I prefer to eat Asian food to American food.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I have to answer this
Okay.
one. My doctor. Okay, so.
Oh.
Hello.
Okay. I'm actually going to mute her so we don't listen to her conversation. Okay. So that's very good. Ken, do you have one?
Okay.
Don't forget, you can use different structures. Do you need any help?
Oh my gosh.
No pressure, Ken. We're just all waiting for you. I'm just kidding.
I don't know whether it is correct or not.
Okay, so I prefer to go to the beach to go shopping. Lots of twos in that sentence, but yes, it is correct. I prefer to go, verb pattern, to the beach because we use the preposition to after go for movement. To is now our reason to go shopping. Wait, I'm sorry, no, that's not true. The other to is the comparative to. I prefer to go to the beach instead of going shopping, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Prefer going to the beach to go shopping. Notice what you said? Going. No, I changed this to go shopping. 1 second. I prefer to go to the beach to go shopping. Yes. So we have all of these twos. So we can, it's fine. It might actually, a lot of people have asked me, why do you use to so much? And well, because it's the basic structure. As I said, this is a verb pattern. Now we have a collocation with go to, like listen to. We have to use to after. And then we're actually comparing, I suppose, the two because we're using prefer. So if we were to say this differently, you could say, I prefer, as I used before, going to the beach over shopping. Now this is more, I don't want to say more advanced, but we're eliminating words because we're not using the verb here, for example. Because the other problem we might have is the INGs. If we're going to the beach or we're going shopping. Going shopping is correct, obviously, but some people might think it's strange because we're using two words with the ING. Verb, noun. Okay? Questions?
Yeah, I prefer going to the beach over shopping. It's much easier to say. Maybe native speaker said, yeah, I guess this pattern more than I wrote, I guess.
Well, it's just different. The idea is the same. It's just different structures. And so, of course, that can be the complicated part of this as well, is because you have so many options. Okay? Do you have any questions or comments?
No.
Okay. Then I want to try another one. With would rather and help.
I would rather.
Questions?
Would rather, I forgot the pattern. Infinitive? And to.
No.
No, than.
Base verb.
Base verb, okay.
Okay, can you read your sentence?
I would rather help people than just watch TV.
Okay. All right, you can unmute yourself, Elle. I muted you so we wouldn't listen to your conversation.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. We only did this next example, so if you want to write an example, you can. If not, that's fine too. Okay. So, Ken's sentence, I would rather help people than just watch TV. That's fine. That's a perfect sentence. My sentence is, I would rather help you on Saturday than on Sunday. Okay. So again, I can have the on or not for the other day of the week. Okay. Elle, what do you think? Do you want to add something?
Yeah, I have one sentence right now. Oh, use help is I didn't know that. You want me to use help verb?
It doesn't matter. It's fine.
okay.
Don't worry. It's more so that you had an idea. Some people here in Spain are just not creative and they want you to like give them everything and then they will do something. So
okay.
I just thought it would be easier, but absolutely not a problem. So could you read your sentence?
I would rather go swimming to reading.
Okay.
Okay. You use okay. I would rather go swimming than reading.
Then read.
Because swimming, I use swimming.
But you use go.
I use
go.
Yeah. Go swimming to read. To reading to go swimming to
read. I would rather go swimming to read a book. It sounds like you are missing something there.
Yeah, it doesn't sound. It sounds like.
It sounds strange. So in this case, what you could do is I prefer swimming to reading. For example, I prefer to go swimming to read a book. But I in this case, it does sound a bit strange. That's how I think that's why we can choose so many different options. Because one might sound strange to us, but it's actually grammatically correct with the correction. All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll do one more. All right. And this is going to be had better. And I have the verb leave if you want to use it or not. So I'll wait for your sentences.
Okay.
You have an idea?
Yeah, I have better leave. I have better leave.
Okay, so Elle, you have your sentence. Could you read it for us?
I had better leave. Otherwise, I missed the train.
I think you want to say otherwise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll miss the train.
Okay. Okay.
He's had better, even though it's in the past tense. Technically, it's not in the past tense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not used in the past tense.
Okay.
So I had better in this case is basically a modal verb, is what you can think of it. I should leave, otherwise I'll miss the train. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ken, how are you doing with your sentence over there?
Okay. I'm not sure. Okay.
All right, can you read your sentence?
You had better leave until the class is over.
Okay. I like that a lot, and I like that you had better not leave. So we're not only using the base verb, but you're using it in a negative form, and that way we're just going to add not. Thank you very much. Until the class is over. Good. So more or less, right? I mean, these are very complicated structures. So, okay, good. So maybe a different day we'll have to work on these again. Maybe if I do it a little bit differently, it'll be easier to understand. Like I said, we did a lot of grammar today, and I know it can be very difficult. So don't worry. I think you both did fantastic. Okay. And that's it for today. So next class is on Monday, and we'll be doing a reading about school in the 50s. All right. So something a little different. And then on next Wednesday, it's more about business, about employee resignation. So to resign means that you're quitting, but it's more formal. Okay. That depends on the job that you have. So with that, I'm going to finish for today with this class anyway. And I will hopefully see you on Monday, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, good. Thanks for coming. Good job today. You really did good. All right?
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy your day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.